Hey gang, welcome back to the Destination Baby and Kids YouTube video. This is Gina, super excited to be here with you today to go over some prep and installation tips on that brand new car seat you see behind me. That is the Nuna EXEC NEXT. So we're gonna show you rear facing, forward facing, lower anchor, and seatbelt, and possibly even booster if there's enough time, we'll see. But yeah, if you haven't yet, go ahead and like, follow, or subscribe to this channel. And the best thing you can do, if you fall in love with this seat or just want to go shopping in general, head on over to my website, destinationbabykids.com. I'm a real brick and mortar store here in the San Francisco Bay Area. I can ship anything directly to your home pretty much for free. And we have such a broad variety of items on the website, destinationbabykids.com. Cannot stress enough how appreciative I am of all of you viewers. We're working our butts off to get to 10,000 subscribers this year. So let's launch into this fabulous video going over tips and tricks for installing the Nuna EXEC NEXT. Okay, in an effort to be a little more thorough, I'm going to talk about a couple of things that we can do before we even start installing the car seat to make our lives easier. So the first thing I would encourage you to do is find your vehicle manual. The next thing I would tell you to do is to make sure you have your car seat manual. If you do not have your car seat manual, you can go ahead and head on over to Nuna's website and download it directly from them. So useful. But we're going to need both of those things just to make sure that we're doing everything correctly when we're doing our installation. The next thing I would tell you to do would be vehicle preparation. So vehicle preparation entails making sure the spot that you're installing this in your vehicle is clean and free of debris. So if there's anything in your back seat that could be considered a projectile that in an accident could fly around and hit the baby in the head, let's say a day planner, an organizer, a computer bag, that type of stuff that we don't think about so much because it's tucked in the back, we're gonna wanna get rid of all of that so we can have a nice, clean, empty space to go ahead and install our car seat. So we do those steps before we even start messing around with the car seat, right? Once we've got our manuals and we've got our vehicle prepared, we're gonna go ahead and start getting the seat ready for installation. Now, I'm sure you're asking, do I need to know which way I'm installing it and the method of installation before I start prepping it? No. What I'm gonna show you right now is gonna be useful for any way that you want to install it in the car. Let's start with going ahead and raising the headrest up. So there's a handle right here at the top of the seat. You're gonna pinch that and you're gonna lift this headrest up toward the sky. The next thing we're gonna do is remove this headpiece. Again, not critical, but I'm gonna do it anyway just to be more thorough. And then we're gonna go ahead and remove this infant insert. Now, before you say, hey, but I'm gonna use it with an infant, we have to put this back in for after the installation anyway, so I'm gonna make sure to show you how to do that. To remove the infant insert, you're gonna go ahead and hit the red buckle, unbuckle it, and then you're gonna hit your chest clip piece to go ahead and unbuckle that. And then there are little snaps on either side of this infant insert. And then to make this easier, let's also remove this crotch pad buckle. To do that, there is a snap on the actual crotch pad buckle. Undo that. That will enable you to take that piece off much more easily. If you pull on it when it's snapped, it's not going to come off. That's intentional because they don't want baby to pull it off. And then we'll go ahead and remove the infant insert by pushing the red buckle down through the crotch hole and pulling that out. Now, when you look at the seat, you also have side impact pieces and some other stuff going on in here. To make this harness looser, I'm going to go ahead and press, there's a button in between the legs that's covered with fabric, but that is our harness release. If I press on that and then pull on the harness, I'm able to actually loosen it and sort of pull it out of the way, which is very helpful for the seat prep. We're going to go ahead and lift the fabric that's attached to the headpiece up. And then there's another piece of fabric that's actually snapped to the back of the seat. We're going to go ahead and unsnap that on both sides. And then our side impact piece also has some snaps going on that we're going to want to undo, because without undoing that, we're not going to be able to pull this fabric fully forward. So my goal is to get this whole set of fabric pulled forward. And now, if I pull my harness out of the way, I can maybe use the magnets on the side. Helpful. New magnets, stronger. If I tip the seat forward, hopefully all the viewing audience can see. And actually, maybe I'll just carry it over so you guys can see. There are two doors. There's a door on the bottom right here that's blue handle on it. And then there's another door on actually the backrest of the seat with a red tab, and that's for forward-facing installation. So the goal here again isn't to be opening the doors or worrying about that. It's to be moving all of this fabric out of the way so we have access to these points. And now we're going to show you how to prep the seat additionally for lower anchor installation. And then also we'll show you seatbelt. Okay, gang, so we're going to go ahead and start off with doing a rear-facing installation with seatbelt. So if you look right here, this guy's going to read lift for rear-facing installation. So we're going to go ahead and lift that up. We are not going to play with any of these in here. We're just going to leave that the way it is. The next thing we want to do is open up these cup holders on either side. Now I'm going to go ahead and turn the seat backward because again, this is a rear-facing installation. And if you look on the side of the seat, there are numbers and there's also a spectrum. So there's a blue spectrum for rear-facing that will show numbers 4, 3, 2, 1. So I'm going to do position 4 because we'll assume it's a very little baby. And then on the seat here, there's buttons on either side of the foot plate. I'm going to go ahead and press those buttons, pull my foot plate out all the way, and tip it up so that I'm able to actually pull the seat next to our backrest and have it sitting up against the backrest of the seat. Now, if you'll notice, here under the cup holder is my hand. So you can see my fingers coming through the side. There's a hole on either side and we have this blue guide which indicates where the seatbelt goes. So in this case, I'm going to take my lower shoulder and my lap belt, pull that through this hole. There's another hole going under the other cup holder. And that's why there's blue indicators that shows you where we're going to do a rear-facing install. And then we're going to find our buckle our seatbelt. And then what I'm going to do is make sure that this is nice and flat. I'm going to pull out any additional slack. Now I don't need to go crazy with tightening and pulling down super hard. I just want there to be a little resistance in these two belts. And then I'm going to go ahead and push this piece down to latch that door. So that is now closed, not pulling up. And then we're going to lock our seatbelt off. So what that entails is taking my seatbelt, pulling it all the way out very slowly. And when it retracts, it's going to make a clicking sound. That way we know it's locked off. In this case, we're going to go ahead and take our belt, or excuse me, our crotch belt, route it back through our seat. And so this is sort of the critical part where we don't want to put this back improperly because we want to make sure our harness is going to have that freedom of mobility to tighten and loosen around kiddo's body appropriately. So we'll hook those dudes up. There's some snaps back here. We're going to hook those up. And again, our rear-facing latch limit is 35 pounds on this seat. So if kiddo weighed more than 35 pounds, we wouldn't be using this method of installation. Now, if it's a newborn, we'll go ahead and put our newborn piece back in, which is routing that piece up, the crotch piece up through the hole. We'll go ahead and lower our headrest back down. And it's going to be tight because there's other stuff jammed in there right now. Now, again, getting back to putting it back together, you want to make sure that you're doing this very deliberately with all of the pieces coming up and folding through so that you have this freedom of movement in your harness and everything aligning nicely for a newborn. It's particularly critical with newborns like that 5 through 11 pound range that the chin wouldn't touch the chest. It does say in the book we need to use all of the padding. So I'm setting everything back up. And just to double check, I'm going to go ahead and hit all my buckles and retighten by pulling here to make sure that I have that freedom of movement in my harness for kiddo when I'm tightening and loosening them. We didn't put the headpiece back. Again, you're going to look for those two pieces. There's holes in the actual seat headrest where those pieces will tuck in. And now we have a seat essentially installed in our rear-facing mode, moving less than an inch from its installation point. And if we want our cup holders down. We can put them down, they won't click back in, but we do have that opportunity to set it up. But this is essentially how we would set this up for rear facing. And again, looks like I'm in recline level 3. I'd want to be in level 4, but still a nice little rear facing install.